and you're going to read the delineation part that's just above the chart.
Okay, yeah. And then, well, the part that I added at the bottom too.
I think I just hit go live.
Huh?
I just hit go live.
No.
I did. We're live. I hit the wrong thing. I meant to hit it right here.
We're live.
I know, right? I actually go check, right? It's so awesome though, because I was sitting here typing on the iPad, right? And that's what happened in me typing on the iPad. And I was like, hey, hold on. All right, it's all good though. I see the articles right there. It's looking pretty cool, right? All right, so I got that queued. All right. So let's bring it back here. All righty, so we're super duper live on YouTube right now, guys. All righty, and let me actually come back here and talk to you guys just real quick. Let me actually highlight a couple of things here, spotlight myself, and introducing, first and foremost, guys, peaceful greetings to you. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan, Ghazi Obey here in Morocco at northwest of Maxim, right? Yeah, fix my garment. It's as a matter of fact, let me just unbutton my garment completely, just a little bit, And, today we are presenting, everybody's like crazing about this, pink moon and whatnot, right? So I was like, all right, cool. So it's brought to, my attention even more yesterday and today. So I would like to bring here, spotlighting. Let me add to the spotlight. Mother Sekhmet, Ghazi Farah Taylor L. Peaceful greetings to you. Mother Sekhmet, all is well.
All is well. Peaceful greetings.
Indeed, guys. Don't let her fool you. That's a tiger, more like a lion. Sekhmet is the lion goddess, right? So with that being said, right, guys, just to, cut to the chase, there's a hot article right now at pinkilluminates.com on the pink moon that is called spring moon. All right. And I read it and I was like, whoa. And I was like, hold on. I saw, because she was like, let me, get the horoscope that, that you and your bros had went over or whatever. And I was like, okay, for that particular day. And I realized there was a typographical error in it. And I even was doing the live and I was like, man, I didn't even stop myself in the middle of the live. However, I fixed it or whatever, because we're doing our own publishing and editing, guys. All righty. Myself, Mother Sekhmet, Brother Corey, and Brother Terrell. So, me coming across a typographical error, I love to laugh at myself in my human moments when I see, things like that. I'm like, let me make the correction. Wise man changes his mind often, right? So, however, let's, cut to the chase. Mother Sekhmet, though, I think this would be maybe sort of kind of like really your first time in actual, facial debut, so to speak. They've heard your voice, and for those that come to class, they get to see and hear you, but let's say this would be the first time ever, right? So doing this illuminating pink moon, there's this smash article on the pink moon at pinkilluminates.com. So after I read it, I was like, that's hot, actually. I'm gonna share it everywhere. Like, let's share it, it's just really, really awesome. So introduce yourself, and just tell the people a little bit about yourself and who you are. Just breathe in your nose, out your mouth. You end, baby,
Yeah.
And I yield. Islam.
Hey, everybody. I am Sekhmet Ghaziah L. I am the editor of pinkilluminates.com.
Yes, you are.
The co-chief or assistant chief editor for 7hillstar.com.
Yay!
And I am happy to be here. I am excited about what's to come because, we've been working on a lot of different things since myself and Brother Hasan have come together and just started working together and building our family and being happy.
Islam.
Yeah. So I don't know what else about me. I'm a writer. I write A lot of different types of articles. However, the goal and what I aspire to write about at this point is um, more about national affairs. Obviously, my background is in entertainment and just more about trending and lifestyle topics. I used to write for the source.com, Source Magazine, just as a digital contributor. And I've been writing on pinkilluminance.com since 2011.
Yes, 10th anniversary we're in.
So yeah, about 10 years. And I also have been recently writing under my free national name with therichest.com. So I'm excited about that because previous to that this will be my first actual time contracting in my free national name and not being subject to what we are all used to with the known big year and that paradigm. So I'm happy and just excited because I think we're going to go forward with just building our own publication that you guys will be able to contribute to soon and help us to build that. So I'll be happy to explain more of that a little later.
Yes, indeed. Let me bring me back. I took me off the spotlight because I know because we're in the same location. So I figured to prevent the feedback, we just use one mic. So I just removed myself. So let me add me back. All righty. And ultimately, it's just amazing to just see because ultimately you started out just a student in astrology, and you still are. We all are. I'm still an astrology student, and to see how in a year's time you are practically using what you've learned in astrology, and you've combined it with what you've been doing for 10 years or more in publishing and marketing, so to speak. So I have been given a new life breath in seeing like, whoa, like you're actually showing me that that there's more to this as far as what can be done just when people get their hands on it and they use their imagination, right? So I get to have these moments pertaining to learning things that's new, and I have learned a lot from you this year.
I really learned a tremendous amount from you.
Islam. Islam. I mean, and I got to say, like, it's like, okay, the synastry spot on. Once we figured it out, it's like, okay, the synastry spot on. Mm-hmm. It really, really is. So with that being said, let's continue. Right, I'm doing my best not to look like I like you because you're looking so fine and gorgeous. You're a fine Moabite sister. Oh, anyway, let's continue. All right, so I'm gonna let's bring up the article. Let me actually share my screen here. Right, I'm gonna take me away. Let me take me away. I want to remove the spotlight from me. Right, keep you spotlighted. However, let me share my screen. Right. And I'm actually going to go to pinkilluminance.com, right? Which I actually have queued already here on Safari. You guys go to pinkilluminance.com and you will see. And when you go there, all right, there's a plethora of articles, all right? So the latest one is on the Pink Moon 2021, which is what we're reviewing today. The super pink moon in Scorpio gets its name from Indigenous Americans went to Skywatch and its horoscope. And that's for April 26, 2021. And she suggests leave a comment, guys. Subscribe to, today when you go to pinkilluminance.com, subscribe so that whenever Mother Sekhmet L actually provides a post, all right, you guys can get your hands on it. She's written on our brother Yasin Bey also, as you can see, when she was presenting the article pertaining to watching Traveling Man, quote unquote, by Yasin Bey resurface in rare form during 2021, the Louis Vuitton, right? Louis Vuitton, all right? Men showcase, pardon me, excuse me. And you guys can check out the different articles that she has there. And as she said before, she is I remember the Abby Jasmine one. That was pretty dope. I remember that one.
Yeah, she's a sweetie.
Yeah, really. She's really, really cool. And I really like her music.
Yeah.
All right. And just looking at the different things. Oh, yeah, I remember when we photoshopped that joint.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when we did that too. So yeah, you guys just check these out. Really see what that was actually our first one we worked on together.
Yeah, the
Stellar Awards. Yeah. That was the first one that we had worked on together. And literally, it just seems like the best promos was either BET or us. Like, it was just like nobody else. And I'm not bragging. I'm just being completely honest. It really showed, you know what I mean? Like, whoa, like, yo, like we really have been paying attention to our lessons in marketing over the years. We've been paying attention, right? So you guys can go and check out all of those. Let's go back to the top here and let's get to what we came for today, why you all are here, all right? So I'm going to read, all righty. Boom, we're here at pinkilluminous.com. We're reading up on the Pink Moon 2021. All righty, and we're here at www.pinkilluminous.com. It's been established for 10 years. This mother has been doing this for 10 years. That's a decade, okay? Gets its name from indigenous Americans. Winter Sky Watch and its horoscope. That's what this is about. So let's zoom in here, right? Let's really get into it, right? Everything is subject to perspective. However, depending on the time and place of the mind contemplating with the stars, you may find slight variations in name and class of this year's spring supermoon, the pink moon, quote unquote. While the moon itself may not illuminate the sky in the rich pink hues, according to reports, and those hyperlinks there, you can actually click them to actually see what she's citing. All righty. The pink moon, quote unquote, was given its name after the annual appearance of the phlox subulate plant, referred to as moss pink, quote unquote, which grows naturally in the sandy soils and rocky ledges of North America, northwestern Mexico, the North Gate.
Yeah.
Right? This bloom appears in early spring and belongs to the perennial family. That photo there, of course, by Zen Sutherland via Flickr. All right. The Anayamwea, modernly referred to as Cherokee tribe of the East Coast, call this supermoon the Kawani, or flower moon, quote unquote, for both those terms. While the Creek tribe of the Southeast America refer to it as Tasakirako, or, well, that's a quote unquote, or big spring moon, quote unquote. Serendipitously, so-called religious groups like Eastern Christians, Buddhists, and Hindus also honor the moon's vivacity, calling it various names such as Pascal moon, quote unquote, which marks the Eastern Christians' interpretation of Easter, May 2nd this year, which is called Orthodox Easter, which is one of our high holy days. So yes, May 2nd would be one of those days to go out there and ground. Awesome. Sun gaze, right?
We'll do it.
And do some breathing. Absolutely. You already know. It's the high holy day opposite November 2nd.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotcha.
It's actually 8 of them. You got 4 highs, 4 lows. Marking the Buddha's visit to Sri Lanka to settle a dispute between chiefs to avoid a war. Buddhists commemorate this moon as Bapoya, quote unquote. And according to the Hindustani, this moon is Hanuman Jayant, right? Hanuman Jayant, right? Quote unquote, marking the celebration of the birth of Lord Hanuman. While in the paradigm pertaining to mysticism and Jesus, his savior, told us, quickly fades as the age pertaining to Aquarius persists. the power pertaining to the luminaries is undeniable, and science continues to reign in differential perspectives. As the world's wealthiest and long-lasting communities would be remiss to neglect the phases and transits of the moon's nurturing influence on the planet's life-giving resources, according to the Old Farmer's Almanac. There are 9 full moons remaining this year, including April's pink moon. And I'm going to stop there because you guys need to go to pinkilluminous.com and check out all this research that Mother Sekhmet Gazia El has done, all right, to show you what the different quote unquote tribes, different families, the different Moorish families.
Right. We're all,
right.
mean, just emphasizing that these are only names, or, nothing different about any of us besides where we are on the plane at whatever time we're at, time and space. So
Islam. And so you guys can go and check out the rest of this article, right? However, if you scroll down a little more, it's a beautiful picture of this moon at Stonehenge, right?
Yes.
Beautiful. Originally tweeted by Stonehenge UK at Stonehenge on April 26, 2021. All right. And she goes on to give you more here. I want you guys to go and check out where things are visible from. She goes into the lunar eclipses and solar eclipses, because technically that's what this is why the moon is pink. Yes. Or appears red when you see blood moons or pink moons. It's the earth coming in between the light from the sun to the moon. And when the earth is in between that light, it gives this red look pertaining to the it's almost like the aura of the earth. When the sunlight hits the earth and when that refracted light bounces off the earth, it gives a red look to the planet. So that just kind of lets you know that when they say a blood moon, it's kind of also kind of letting you know that there's this kind of scarlet energy, even pertaining to like hemo, and that's the Greek prefix, and I can stand corrected. However, hemo deals with blood, right?
Yes.
And so that's kind of what you guys are seeing. It's kind of like this hemo effect. And also included is the horoscope for the pink supermoon. All right, it was provided via me, through 7hillstar.com, and we went in on this and it's edited. All righty. And you guys can go and check out, the full horoscope presented by me, Brother Corey, and Brother Terrell at 7hillstar.com. All righty. And also you can download that horoscope. All righty. You can download the horoscope, guys. All righty. And we'll see if we can get the PDF version up there, because that's what the one that they're going to download is the PDF version.
Correct.
All righty. So the PDF version is much clearer than this because we had to screenshot it. Yes. To put it up here or whatever. So you guys already know when you screenshot some things, it takes away the resolution. However, I guarantee when you go to click on this, let me go and click the link. Hey, look at that. Let me zoom it out a little to see what it's looking like. Hey, that's cool. So then I could download it and it's well zoomed in so you guys can read and check it out, see what's going on in there. Sun and Taurus in the 4th house in the 3rd lunar mansion. However, I want to leave that to Mother Sekhmet because there's a portion that she wanted to go in, and I'm going to yield the floor to her for that portion. All righty. And so let me scroll on past and set it right here for you, Mother Sekhmet, and I yield the floor. Islam.
So with the moon being in the undertaking sign of Scorpio in the 10th house of career in the 17th lunar mansion, the mundane influences of this supermoon will be truly amplified. And that's only because it's a supermoon. And I believe the difference between a regular full moon and correct me if I'm wrong, the supermoon is that it's just that much closer to the earth. So it does have that much more of an influence as far as that goes versus a regular full moon.
Yes, it's close, hence the super.
Right.
And the earth is obviously between the light coming, the apparent light, obviously, or the light coming from the sun to the moon. So instead of the moon reflecting what looks to be normally to our eyes a silvery whitish color, we'll be seeing pink.
Right. And that's mainly, especially from here, mainly because of the simple fact that there are these flourishing pink perennials and different colored flowers.
That is an effect of it. Also,
So-
that's not a bad way to look at it. However, we'll just say that the overall energy is like if, for example, it's almost like, you know how when you take a picture of someone, but you use the negative exposure filter.
Right.
And since we're copper toned beings, in a negative exposure, we look green.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what's kind of happening. However, it's not a negative exposure kind of thing. It's a residual refracted light. And being that, because red, you would think, oh, why is the earth giving off this red? Well, you would think, yes, the perennials, the clay type of soils, and things of that nature. However, it's very Martian, one would think, too, that being next door to us, you know, so there could be, even though we come with some would think, but we're such a blue planet, why isn't the moon blue? Well, you know, it's just, you know, from what we've studied and observed this far, you know, it's not like we're all hopping in hot air balloons or spaceships and going, oh yeah, see, look, the earth is in the way of the moon, receiving all the sun's light. No, we're not doing that. However, we do rely on documented history from other polymaths and astronomers and astrologers, as well as relying on the different techniques in spherical trigonometry and earth measure,
right,
to see how we could be able to devise the same, and then maybe doing little hand models and stuff here to be able to grasp the concept pertaining to these so-called astronomical orbits and movements. Peaceful greetings to you, Mother Sahar, and Brother Ronnie. Peaceful greetings to you. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to say also, I think you had made a point here in your reading too. Oh yeah, when we went back there and it was like we was talking about, you know, the Jesus saves toters and stuff, so that people know that's not a negative climb at it, as far as speaking about one's religious freedom. What we're actually speaking about is fulfilling the law, just as the anthropomorphic Yeshua termed Jesus in the Helios Bibliothèque contemporarily termed the Holy Bible. He accomplished the same thing. All the so-called prophets only came to fulfill the law that the people were under the belief that they were under.
Right.
So, you know, it's you know, in my father's house there are many mansions. Okay, cool. So let's talk about the 17th one.
Yay, 17th.
You know what I mean? I yield. Go ahead, Mother Sekhmet. It's on you. I yield.
Well, I'm going to continue reading, but we'll get to that. So as it reads here, Moorish American astrologer, Brother Hasan Bey delineates the pink moon's energy in 180 degrees reflection to the sun, or opposition, as some people may say.
Yeah, they'll call it opposition. But, you know, that to kind of mitigate that war energy, because opposition sometimes have a negative connotation.
Right.
We'll say reflection.
Right. And reflection to the sun, so it's complete 180 to the sun, this particular moon, in the fourth house. The sun is in the fourth house in the third lunar mansion. So he says, determined to remain resourceful, securely creating value via ancestral honor. Hasan Bey.
Islam.
All rights reserved.
All rights reserved.
So just continuing on that, I really translated what he said to mean to me, for us to expect this energy to charge your inner self. Because, you know, with Scorpio, you're really kind of doing a lot of shadow work. and looking within, whether that be going back to who you were and as far as your lineage and your inheritances. And so that's that energy for me. So in aligning your inheritance, there we go, whether it be a passed down skill or a physical heirloom with your career moves. So aligning those things that you have been and what your family has passed down with your career at this point, with it being in the 10th house. So this will be a great time to establish and enforce contracts pertaining to your children's inheritances, such as trusts and securing private family banking practices. So you can catch this year's supermoon at its fullest phase tonight at 11:32 p.m. Eastern time, according to NASA. I think a couple minutes off, just depending on where you are exactly.
Yeah, because for here near the Baltimore Corporation, I charted 23:31:30.
Right, so 30 seconds off from that. And I saw another report for 11:33. So just get ready around 11:30 if you're on the East Coast, and whatever time it is pertaining to that, wherever you are.
Yes, Eastern time zone. 11:30ish. Yes.
11:30.
Yeah, it really depends on your time zone, how you'll be observing it. You know?
Exactly.
So for us, we'll be clearly observing it. But for those of you that are, south of the equator, you won't be seeing it how, we will. You guys will be on the side with the sun,
right?
Enjoying 11:30 a.m. They'll be enjoying the a.m., because it's autumn in the southern hemisphere now.
Right.
So sun in Taurus for them means autumn, where sun in Taurus for us means spring. So So yes, all astrology is definitely based on where you are on the planet. And that's what Prophet Noble Drali means. Time never was when man was not. So even though there's many layers to that statement, however, that just to show you that it can be applied to this particular layer here also. So this is amazing. I like to thank you. So what we're going to do is give you guys a little bit of an added extra, with this. We're going to go through all 12 ascendants and tell you how this full moon is going to affect you. How is this super pink moon? How is it going to affect you? I guess I can cue back. But what I was doing, I was actually bringing this up. I was actually going to fix the time. Let me bring the time to 11:30. I'm going to do a chart adjust here. As a matter of fact, let me actually, I'll keep the screen on you. All right, I'll keep that on you. And let me actually share from here. All right. Let's actually get this going. And let's share. Right? There we go. All right. So that's for 9:30. Let's do a chart adjust, right? And with the chart adjust, what I would like to do, we're going to set it for 23. Come on, Pruda. We're just waiting on the. Oh, okay. This thing is trying to open up down here. I knew I made a mistake and clicked on this. Let's exit out of that. Great. Don't be sucking up so much processor. There we go. Release. All right. Shimon.
Love it. The chat is awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Yes, thank you. Islam. Yeah, go ahead and talk to him. Yeah, go ahead. Talk to him, baby, while I get this together.
Peaceful greetings, Mother Sahar and brothers. Is it Brother Ronnie?
Yeah, I think that's Brother Ronnie, yes.
Alrighty.
It's his solar return. Happy solar return to you, Brother Ronnie, also. Yes.
Solar return. Yeah.
All right. All right.
That's the What's the name of the puppet? That
That's Candy.
That's
Raphael.
Candy Raphael.
Yeah, right.
From Astrology Street with Brother Hasan.
It's funny because we're gonna get you to. It's funny. It's gonna be a family affair. All right, so, we're gonna get everybody involved in it. All right. All right, so I'm gonna hit yes here. Alrighty, and boom. Are we at 11:31? Right. Okay. No, I didn't fix that. I could have sworn I just fixed that, guys. I must didn't hit apply the time. 2 seconds, guys. Thank you for your patience. Let me make sure. All right. 23. Tab. 31. Tab. 30. Apply the time, baby. Boom shakalaka. All righty. Hit save. And yes. Here we go. So I'm going to look at a medieval astrology chart while we're doing this, just to have a little fun. All righty. So how is this, super pink moon, affecting you, right? And as you can see, the moon is at 7 degrees Scorpio, 6 minutes in the 10th house. All right. And the sun is at 7 degrees, 6 minutes in the 4th house. So we already know just this theme here, just home and career, right? However, look at how close they are to the next house cusps. All righty. They're in the 4th and the 10th, very close to the 5th and the 11th. So there's a lot of things on the mind that's dealing with home and career with this moon here, home and career, so that we can do things for our children and others' children, right? There's just this way, this whole theme that's filling up, right? This full moon, we're looking at as like, okay, so as the moon goes towards becoming full, all the water in everything rises. So for those that actually, tend to their gardens, the water in the soil is rising, right, as the moon increases in light. However, as I'm looking at it in the so-called super pink, right, moon, if we were to go off the colors here, right, pink is very temperate red, so to speak, or light red, right? And usually, we equate red to things that are emergency, right? Red with things that something that is urgent, urgency, right? However, a lot of times red is used in food establishments, right? Also. However, when you're looking at pink, sometimes pink will make you think of love. Yes. Right? Pink will also make you think of new beginnings. Also, sometimes when you think pink, usually pink is for the girl and blue is for the boy. So it could be very maternally oriented, considering that it is happening in feminine signs. Yes. Mm-hmm. So there is this huge importance. All righty, because all we are on this planet are mothers and sons. Everything that's female is mother because it'll eventually bring life, and it's automatically designed to do that. Mm-hmm. The female human being and the male human being is designed to assist in that. However, the divine balance in that, us being all mothers and sons, all my sons, right? With that actually occurring, what I actually see, Moon in Scorpio gets a bad rap. Right. And I'm very suspicious about the Moon in Scorpio having a bad rap. Yes. Even though I see things in history why, Scorpio has no exaltations there, even though in modern astrology, they say Uranus is exalted in Taurus, right? I'm really just thinking, though, when I come across people that have Scorpio moon in their chart, some way, shape, or form, especially the tropic chart, they're highly psychic beings. That I think lessons do come quick to them. They do see quickly, can see through people, things like that. However, I think with the right occult disciplines, based in pure heart sincerity, pure heart, sincere intent, love, honor, right? And when I say profit, noble, duality at the forefront of the mind, I'm not speaking dogmatically. Profit is a thought pertaining to all balanced law, pertaining to the zodiac manifested in flesh. That's a prophet. Noble, all-knowing. Drew, truth. Ali, master. So having the thought pertaining to all balanced law pertaining to the zodiac manifested in flesh, all-knowing truth master at the forefront of your mind while being pure heart, sincere intent, love, and honor, one can rightly divide many so-called secret and occult things being Scorpio moon. Yeah. Really, you can. I'm going to say that the reject in the horoscope is the Scorpio moon, and I'm embracing the rejection.
I love the underdog.
You see, that's how I'm looking at it. Yeah, it's like the moon in Scorpio is clearly the underdog. It is Cinderella. Yeah. Moon in Scorpio is Cinderella. Yeah. Period.
Loved Cinderella, Brandy version.
The Brandy version, really? I want to be down.
I love Brandy.
Oh.
What you going through, what you going through. I have Brandy posters all over my room.
Get out of here. Mo to the, E to the. Really?
Yes.
Get out of here.
No, seriously.
Get out. No, I know that about you, babe. I'm just joshing. All right. All right. So let's see how this is going to affect everyone. Okay. So we know it's starting in Scorpio. Even though I know this is the 11th house, we're going to whole sign this in our minds. We're going to imagine that Scorpio is going to be the first house. Sagittarius is going to be the second house. Right. That's how we're going to look at it. However, I'm going to say if you're a Scorpio ascendant, this is how this full moon is going to affect you. If you're a Sagittarius ascendant, this is how it's going to affect you because it's in this house or the full moon is happening in this house, so that's kind of how I will look at this. So here we go. Scorpio. See, the ascendant is how you do things. If everything in your natal chart is Kool-Aid, then the ascendant is the pitcher from which you pour. So with that being said, Scorpio ascendants, those of you that have a Scorpio ascendant, this is happening in your first house. So when it comes to yourself, keyword for first house, yourself, the things you want to move forward in projecting, right, and moving forward when it comes to your mind, you're really looking to take all that you've accumulated, especially in the last 14 days, and really be able to express yourself in a manner that people didn't think was going to be. See, pink also brings about a softness where most people expect the fixed Scorpion bull to be hard. And I think this will be a time where the Scorpio moon can express themselves in a light where people are like, oh my goodness, they really are approachable. However, you still know that it has stingers. It has a stinger and two claws.
Did you say Scorpio bull or the Scorpio scorpion?
Well,
are you mixing Taurus season in there?
I have to, because the lesson also in this, actually, reflectionary astrology, usually when you're observing one celestial body in one sign, its energy outcome is expressed in the opposite sign. So whatever the sun is doing in Taurus in the third lunar mansion, it will give its outcome in Scorpio.
I comprehended.
You see what I'm saying there?
Clear. Yes.
So when it's dealing with the house, home, values, family banking has been played around this domicile for about the last 24 hours coming off of this iPad. I mean, I already know. I've been up since like 100, and then I took a little power nap and I woke back up, back on it. Yeah. Family banking, trusts. How does this bank work? What is the IMF? What is the World Bank?
Right.
So that's where I'm putting my heart, because the heart is ruled by the sun. Finances, Taurus, fourth house. I'm doing this at home. We're talking about family banking.
Yes.
Fourth house deals with mother. Where do families come from? Mothers. Now in horror, the fourth house is father, and the 10th house is mother. Oh, look at that. The moon is enjoying some kind of accidental dignity than being in the 10th house.
Yeah.
However, it's in Scorpio. So what I really think is going to actually happen, because when you talk about finances, you're talking about accounting. I think that there's going to be a mass accountability on mothers keeping other mothers accountable. I think it's the sons. I'm not saying that the sons aren't going to be helping and haven't laid the groundwork to do so. I think what's about to occur is the mothers are going to go, hold up, shorty, we got to get this together. Leave the sons out of it. As not to say, let's leave the sons out of it because they don't belong. No. We need to get X, Y, and Z together as far as accountability or whatever, X, Y, and Z. Or do you get what I'm saying? Because I put like this. Remember when we was listening, Hun, you and I, we was listening to Kevin Samuels the other night or whatever. And I was like, babe, like, this dude sounds like you. Right? Like, listen to this. Listen.
He might be a Scorpio moon. I don't know.
It's funny, right? And I'm just like, listen to what he's saying. And you're like, oh my God, why are they? And why does this? But it makes sense. I know you don't. That's just, I'm doing a horrible impression. But it's like, why do they sound like this? And I'm just like, I don't know, babe. But I'm just sitting here in awe that you actually are seeing it. Like that, like you can see that these women calling in to Kevin Samuels is like, oh, see, this is what I'm going to try my best to do your impersonation of you. See, this is why they need to declare and proclaim their nationality. I'm sorry, babe. I probably wasn't accurate, but I'm just saying though, but that's what you're coming to because you're starting to see subtleties, right? Mm-hmm. So for you guys with the Scorpio ascendant, right? I really think, self-accountability is going to be really on your mind to the point where you're going to feel like you're not doing it as like a chore. You're actually going to feel like you're cleansing yourself.
Yeah, really good about it.
You're really going to feel like you're cleansing yourself. Sagittarius, this is happening in your 12th house. All righty. So when it comes to this full accountability energy, right? And what you're doing behind the scenes and your joint ventures, right? And things pertaining to, we're going to stick with the theme pertaining to family value due to the delineation in your article.
Yourself too while you're talking?
I can spotlight myself if you like.
Sure.
Let's see if I can.
Let's see the good looking brother.
Oh, you stop it. Let's see. Participants. Right. That's me. More. And let's add me to the spotlight, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, you can see me now.
There you are.
Excellent. That is awesome. Just want to make sure you guys can see. All righty, so let me exit out of that. Just bring it here. So Sagittarius, right? And it's so funny. Let's look at the moon's score right now. The moon's at a +6. If we were to look at this from a horary fashion. So the moon is in mutual reception with Mars, of course, because Mars is in Cancer. And the moon's in Scorpio, right? So there's a mutual reception there. And Mars has a +1. And the moon has a +6 because it's getting 5 points from being in mutual reception with Mars. It's getting another 3 points for being in a Mars triplicity. All righty. So it's being in a certain triplicity also. And it's in Mars term also, right? So that's 5 plus 3 plus 2. Oh, let me make sure I got that right. Because it says 6 there. Hold on. 5, 4, 3, 2. That's 5. Okay, it must be just giving a 1 for the mutual reception. That's very muy interesante. Right? Unless, hold on, do we got a negative somewhere? Hold on. Yes, we did. Never mind. It's right here. The fall. It's giving a negative for fall. So let's add that back up. 5. Let's see if I'm right here, because that's going to be a -4. So 5 plus 3 plus 2 equals 10, minus this 4 here, because moon is technically in its fall sign, right? And so is Mars. Mars is in its fall sign also. However, both the signs that are in their so-called fall signs, or the signs where they're not exalted or held on high, They're still in mutual reception. So I think this is going to be actually a very chill, I'm not going to react kind of energy, right? So Sagittarius, for you, by this happening in your 12th house, don't undo yourself by reacting. Capricorn, this is happening in your 11th house. So you probably are ready to party. Capricorn ascendant, you're probably ready to be able to have some type of growth opportunity with your friends in a way where you're actually finding yourself maybe having some great financial outcome in the future, or you're actually enjoying it now. Maybe you just enjoy getting a raise, possibly. That's a possibility for you, Capricorn. Maybe you're doing something a little further, all righty, in terms of your actual humanitarian endeavors, right? Maybe you're finding further value in working behind the scenes in your humanitarian endeavors. This is your 10th house, Aquarius. And Aquarius, you are definitely enjoying, probably just got a promotion in managing or something. All right. Like Aquarius probably got, a managerial position, just got a supervisory position, because you have your ruler here in your first house, right? And technically, with the moon being, applying square to Saturn, that would speak to a challenge. However, I'm really thinking you're going to beat those obstacles or that challenge of dealing with your career, because what you've done, I think the work that you've put in, you're going to see it paying off. And you're going to see some things behind the scenes, probably even to the point where even if it isn't a so-called promotion or a huge so-called quote unquote raise, you may actually realize that people have been paying attention to the way you do things as technique at work, and people are adopting your technique.
Interesante.
Muy interesante. Ninth house for Pisces. Pisces. This is going down in your ninth house, right? And soon the moon will trine at Neptune there in your first house, Pisces, for the Pisces ascendant. So Pisces is really, they're looking towards the future. They're thinking of some things. They're getting their, ducks in a row. They have some plans that they're doing, See, the thing is, I'm looking at it like Pisces right now will be able to take advantage of all the people that are soft on them. All righty. So when it comes to most Piscean energies, even I'm going over ascendants, these may also, be referred to when you're considering the sun and or moon also. Yeah. But I'm doing the ascendants because the ascendant is how you do things, all righty? And I'm doing this based off of a tropic chart. For me and my studies thus far, tropic astrology is your psychological energies. Right. All righty. And to just, go over the psychological energies, how they would be poured out via the ascendant is just really kind of what I'm focusing on as far as my technique right now.
Right. So if you don't know, just to add to your wisdom, if you don't know your ascendant, you can go to sevenhillstar.com and download a free natal chart. And all you need is the time and place of where you manifested from your mother's womb. So you can go there and download the information that you may not know as far as what your trinity is pertaining to your sun, moon, or your ascendant.
Islam.
Yay!
Yay! I know, right? Islam. All right. So ninth house. All right. We know ninth house deals with education and things like that. So Pisces is really enjoying all the things that it wish it knew a long time ago, but Pisces, you're getting to know it now, and you're looking to actually incorporate these, so-called behind the scene things about finances that you didn't know before, but now you're probably looking at, real estate videos, Pisces. You're looking at movies about real estate, maybe documentaries and things about financial, things of that nature. You're looking at, just those different types of things.
Did you say real estate?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that just reminds me of, so we're talking about Piscean people, right?
Yeah, Piscean ascendants.
Well, they would really be um, lucky to, well, not lucky.
Well, ninth house is luck.
Well, they should go ahead and, as far as the moon, as far as tonight in the manifestations that the energy can bring, according to the 17th lunar mansion, I think I was looking at that.
What's the electional properties for the 17th lunar mansion?
Yes, so the electional properties for this mansion that the moon will be in this evening are good to purchase livestock, besiege estates, so meaning to sit back down in your estates and re-establish those seats. And what we know as being nationals, we know what that means. And as far as your mind first, because the kingdom of heaven comes from within first. So putting on new clothes, making yourself feel good. I saw, as you said, you just were saying real estate, but that really drew me to the besiege of the estates, because we know that right here in Northwest New Mexico, we're under occupation.
Well, yeah. Woo, you about to start another combo, and I'll back you up on that in brief. Go ahead.
We're currently as a whole under foreign occupation.
By whom? The whom?
By the modern European.
Oh, the bankers.
And the bankers currently run by the bankers.
Oh yeah, and really because people think they have to use banking institutions, and they don't.
Correct.
It's a vampire that says, "Hey, come here and bring me your blood, and I'm going to use your blood and give your blood to other people. However, I'll give you 2 quarts of blood every year for keeping this whole gallon of blood of yours with me. However, I'm going to charge people that borrow your blood from my blood bank institution. I'm going to charge them 7 quarts so that I'll get your 2 quarts out of that, and I'll keep 5 for myself." Right. Hold on, time out. You ain't make no product or service.
No, right. We can really dig into learning how, and really being sincere about studying how to reestablish the community within ourselves.
Yep.
And trading, bartering, not necessarily being cheap and looking for a discount with anyone. What I'm referring to is exchanging value with one another.
Without the bankers.
Because
right now, I mean, people, you can think we're talking about, some singular banking institution. No, if you really want to get to what's going on the planet, you know what I mean? Your neutral positioning is Bern, Switzerland, Universal Postal Union, the political arm, United Nations, and then the economic arms or whatever would be World Bank near the DC Corporation. And then you got the International Monetary Fund, right? So, basically what's going on the planet is us making sure we can go and research France and America, Brittany, right? And just really looking at what's really going on the planet, man. At the end of the day, when it comes to Prophet Noble Drew Ali, according to my studies thus far, Prophet Noble Drew Ali basically was saying, come all ye Asiatics in North America and learn that the reason the banking system even exists is because you made it. So go back to that mindset of those that created this so that you can end this bullshit. It's like the planet, because everybody's under occupation.
The corruption of what we've established for, a proper way of economical currency flow. We didn't do this for no reason. We did not have these systems set up for bad intentions. However, some form or fashion, it ended up in the wrong hands and corrupted. So,
it's removing you from the planet. It's like, we traded wampum shells here on the East Coast. That's what's documented. Wampum shells, yes. Right? Eventually got the gold and silver, right? However, when it got to the gold and silver, right? And really, wampum shells may just be a Algonquin thing, as they call it. However, Hadonosani may have, that may have been a currency, so to speak, or exchange medium amongst Hadonosani when checking the Guyana Shagola, which is the Great Law of the Peace. And you can see that, they were trading wampum, right? That was, or a belt with wampum shells on it. That was like, that had your status there.
Correct.
Like in the Bibliotheliotech, the signet ring. The signet ring is like, like my ring here, it has no jewels in it. But if I punch a clay tablet, then ain't too many people got that ring.
Right.
So it's like, oh, okay, that must be Hasan.
Right.
Because that was a way that you would, that would be your stamp and seal, so to speak, right? So technically speaking, and not to go off on a tangent here, I know we're getting through all 12 ascendants, and we're at the 5th one here. We're at Pisces from Scorpio, all right?
But I think it's just important that those Piscean people know that this tonight would be a great time to manifest those energies as far as them and where their placements are right now. So that's why we went into that. Financial
literacy, period. Even if you realize you don't ever need to use a bank, the thing is, Othello, the game Othello, we need to stop occupying energies from sitting, there are occupying energies inside of sentient beings on the planet that may not be making the best administrative decisions for, everyone on the planet. All righty. Because there's an interest, and that interest is one-sided, right? Yes. It's a one-sided interest. So why put your life's energy into an institution when you can just, family banking, all right? Family banking. Simply Google it. YouTube family banking. YouTube, what is a bank?
Yeah.
What is the IMF? You'll find a plethora of things. I know I'm going to prepare. Mother Sekhmet is about to manifest, a champion. And once this champion gets here, I'm pretty sure, astrology and financial literacy, astrocivics is definitely what's, on the forefront. Period. That's it. That's all. Because we don't need to come to the conclusion where we are and then be like, okay, let's let the child go. No, we can modify that, because what we're doing is real social security. It's called trust, right? And we need to really make sure that we're really grasping and comprehending what trust really is and what it is not. All righty. All corporations, including the banks, are no different than Moroccan Roy. They're all puppets. They're not animated until some human being animates it with with his or her energy. Moroccan Roy does not make any motions until I put my hand in the sock from which I made him, and then move my fingers, move my thumb inside of the sock that I've turned in to look like it's hypnosis is the point that I'm making. The difference between me and mostly other people, I'm actually being upfront about the hypnosis that I'm utilizing.
Right.
It's called full disclosure. It's called honor. That's what it's called. It's called ancestral honor. This is your 8th house. All righty. Aries. The Aries ascendant. I know Aries ascendant, 8th house, you're really dealing with things of probably trying to figure out this whole debt situation. I know Aries ascendants are probably like, oh my God, I'm so glad I'm listening to this live right now. Because I need to know what I'm about to do about this that I owe. I feel like I'm dealing with this with debt. Well, let me tell you what debt is. Debt is the weapon in silent war. It is a silent war. You go and use fractional reserve systems, and you go use bank systems that aren't based in, your own family trust. Study the Vanderbilts, study the Rothschilds, right? Mayor Rothschild, passed away in 1812. However, he had a 3-part system for his family so that they'll never go broke. Vanderbilt passed in, I think, 1877. Right, maybe 1876, 1877, yes. And Vanderbilt, was able to build a wealth off of his railroad endeavors. However, I think it was like 98 years later, 120 of the Vanderbilts came together, and all of them had none of the fortune. So they found out that their whole, resolution would be family banking. All right. So that's probably what Aries is probably looking for, a resolution to, the debts contracted into from their seventh house. So whatever you did in Libra, when maybe the moon was in Libra last month, if there was something, contract you started last month, all righty, I'm pretty sure right now what you're looking to do is figure out how to go about mitigating or getting rid of that debt, Aries. So that's what I'm going to put that there for you. Good. Taurus, this is happening in your seventh house. Taurus, you're probably on a hot date. You definitely are eating something. Yeah, and eating. I mean, eating fine foods. There's sushi, crab legging it up for those that aren't vegan or vegetarian. They're definitely spoiling themselves. And if you are vegan or vegetarian, you're probably eating a cake.
Yeah.
You're probably eating, I know it's Ramadan. You're definitely probably binging though. Or what you have found a means to do, Taurus, is if you really are not binging, you have found a way to still get the same sensation. Let's say you don't want to eat the tasty cake, but you still want something sweet. So, hey, look, you found some vegan cupcakes. Look at that. All righty. So you get the hypnosis fulfilled pertaining to a pastry.
Yeah.
However, through another medium termed vegan cupcake instead of tasty cake. All right.
Chocolate covered pretzels.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely and definitely finding a way to relate, probably hanging with relatives, and ultimately I would say probably in the sack, probably practicing making some babies for the future. Probably working on some Capricorns. Babies conceived now. And this is actually when the moon's in Scorpio, that is the best time to conceive. Yeah, your pit bulls, your chickens,
wow,
the foxes, the cats, the dogs.
Yeah.
Everybody can, oh, let's get it on.
Do you know what herbs would be great to plant around this time?
That I would have to go back into, even though with the moon in Scorpio where it is now, and it has not, even if you guys wanted to right now, I know it's nighttime for us here in the Northern Hemisphere, but you can go and plant some things right now in the ground, right before it hits full, for anything that yields fruit above ground. However, after this full moon, plant anything that yields fruit below ground. All right. Any herbs, right? If we were to go into the Encyclopedia of Medical Astrology, I would probably go to the herbs section, right? And see what herbs are ruled by Scorpio, right? And when it comes to that, and you saying that, I think that everyone should see what's in their natal chart, and then see, the 3 months or the 3 signs after their actual sun sign would be what they would probably be missing as far as the biochemical cellular salts, right? So different herbs and or salts or things, I would really go and research the cellular salts. You may go on different websites and find the truth about your health. All righty, or find out the different biochemical cell salts, of the zodiac. You could probably type that in and find different websites distributing that literature. However, in moving forward, one could, really take advantage of all the degenerating and regenerating things. This is a recharge kind of full moon.
Yes.
So you can actually relax. You don't have to overexert yourself.
No.
You can relax, absorb, get ready for May 2nd. So for you to go out there and sun gaze and do deep breathing and earthing in your bare feet on the soil somewhere, on a lawn somewhere.
I would take the time just to add to your wisdom in my self-care and relaxing practices for the full moon. Write down what you want to purge about yourself. Write down those things that you're no longer willing to take forward with you, and write down the things that you actually do love about yourself, because it's about self-love. And I would charge my rose quartz up, probably my selenite.
You can put all your crystals in salt
Mhm.
and or put them out under the full moon, because
Yes.
your crystals will be cleared there also, which is 9 times out of 10 probably what I'll be doing tonight as well.
Yes. Yes. Where did you say in the Encyclopedia of Astrology?
Encyclopedia Herbs, Encyclopedia of Medical Astrology by Howard Leslie Cornell.
The Nicholas DeVore.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. And you go into the herbs section and you'll see under herbs, you'll see which is ruled by. Oh yeah, you want the hard copy?
Yeah. Here
you go, babe. All right. So with that being said, right? Let me not and not ignoring you guys either in the chat. Thank you so much for commenting, brother Ron and brother Arthur. Gratitude indeed. And yes.
Mother Sahar wanted to know about where to
get the fez. Lauderers. I go to lauderers.com. That's where I go. And I know a lot of Moors will be like, oh, you're supporting the Masonic regalia shop. Look, I'm learning about world government. All righty. And my position is, being pure heart, being sincere intent, being love, being honor, with Prophet Noble Drowley at the forefront into my mind. So with that being said, some things I don't kind of care about. I care about getting to the goal. So, sometimes, I would love, as we have said, we need to foster more doing exchanges between one another. However, what I think also, all Moors across the planet, whether you're Aboriginal and Indigenous or amalgamated, pale skin Moor, work on your integrity and work on craftsmanship. All righty. Really be on top of your craftsmanship. All righty. And really have your integrity intact so that your products are worth what you say they're worth.
Or are you just saying, mind your own and first?
Well,
I'm just saying.
Sort of kind of, because, I would much rather get, for the champion you're about to manifest, I would love to get a fez for this champion from Aboriginal, Indigenous, Moorish American. However, if I have to go to Lauderers, or I have to find, respectfully, one of our Albion sons and daughters that may, tend to a synagogue, then I may have to do that. Not because I don't want to support our people. However, I recognize that where I'm at in my mind and how I want to do business, I would literally have to almost teach the etiquette in transactions and really teach our culture, honestly, because really I shouldn't be exchanging like that. We should find some kind of bartering. However, I know we need to eat. I know what occupation we're under. So, okay, hey, if I got these energies that I can send to you by the click of a button, then I'll do that. However, I want to make sure it's fair when I send you those energies. And I think that's where the integrity needs to come in at. And people need to really evaluate themselves, sincerely, in lieu of what they already have out there in public about what business that they're already doing.
Right.
So in continuing, right? This is the 6th house for Gemini. All right, Gemini. Now, I know this full moon, this pink moon happening in your 6th house. You're really coming to the conclusion of some things. Either you're going to stay at that job or you're about to leave. But really what it really is, Gemini, you're really looking how to find a way to use other people's finances to, be able to come up. So it's in the spirit pertaining to banks. We just said, don't be that vampire. Don't say, hey, let me, store your energy here. And when you store your energy here, then this is what we'll do. No, don't do that. I think Gemini, for you, I think when it comes to this full moon being in your 6th house, just the moon period deals with home. 6th house deals with your everyday hustle, maybe even your some immediate close open enemies. Not like some people would say 7th house is open enemies also. However, when it comes to the 6th house, I think you're really looking more at your health in how you're interacting with people at work? And is it really beneficial to not just your immediate financial health? However, is it even good for your psychological health to be interacting with certain people when you're really probably at a point where you're putting together the means to make sure you have a solid foundation for yourself for about 10 to 15 years from now? So your mind, Gemini, dealing with communication and thinking, you're really thinking of what you can do to really increase ways to mitigate or lessen or get rid of so-called quote unquote debts and or obligations that you may have entered into in the past. So we're going to also, because even if you just look at the chart now, how the part of fortune here is just sitting there in Gemini also, and a part of spirit, interestingly, but it's because it's a full moon. So the part of spirit and part of fortune are always going to be together. When you see in full moons and new moons, they're always going to be kind of at the same degree. It's kind of what you see. However, with that being said, Gemini, I really just see you looking to, you're just really wanting to figure out and just really see what direction you're going in, because you really have on your mind your future plans. You actually don't, the idea of getting out of your comfort zone, Gemini, does not bother you when it comes to this full moon. Fifth house for Cancer. You're probably, you got babies on the way, Cancer. Cancer ascendant. All righty. This is the house pertaining to children. All right. So you're probably nesting, Cancer. If there's anybody out there that's expecting, champions to come to the forefront, any Cancer ascendants, not pointing any fingers or saying any appellations, brother Hasan, expecting any champions, right? And you're a Cancer ascendant. All righty. What could really be on the forefront of your mind ultimately, though, is a fact of how you can be really creative in being gentle and creative at the same time. And you may do some things, Cancer ascendant, by, expressing this pink moon situation with how you bring things to the forefront and how you relate to a loved one, because, it deals with the heart, the fifth house, because it's naturally ruled by the sun. However, in this chart, the fifth house is clearly, in this particular chart, ruled by Venus, right? However, the fifth house from Cancer is Scorpio, all righty. And just as treat Cancer as if it's on the ascendant, it's the first house. 5 houses from Cancer is Scorpio. So with that being said, the moon in Scorpio in the fifth house will really just speak to someone who really is connecting their emotional endeavors and their creativity in their psychological mind with things that they can do with production behind the scenes. However, actually bring it to the forefront, center stage, in a very, very illuminating way. Fourth house, this is happening for you, Leo. All righty. So Leo, there's a T-square happening, just like there was for Aquarius. There's this T-square. All right. So you got the sun in your fourth, right? And you got, the moon in your fourth and the sun in your 10th. So really, when it comes to you, Leo, you are really probably, I'm just, to my mind just now, daycare provider just came to the forefront. So I'm not sure if people are taking on new children at daycares. Maybe people have solved a way to be able to find a way to express learning sessions or teaching opportunities, so to speak, for children, maybe very Montessori style of teaching coming here, bringing to light those things that, most people probably wouldn't have thought of. But when I say Montessori style of teaching, it's more hands-on haptic learning, real world situation. And usually in Montessori type style schools, the quote unquote moms and or dads are the ones that are in the school teaching the children collectively, while they're getting experiential lessons with the books and or different things that they're reading. All right. So with that being said, yes.
I was gonna say, is there a way that you can zoom into the chart that we're looking at? So
Actually, yes. I can. Give me one moment. We start the screen share there. Look at Adobe. Oh, you got this type of stuff on your computer. Yeah. So you say, and in task, Adobe. Peace out. So zooming in, right? Let me actually do that for you, because this is a little different than the iPad we've been on this laptop. However, let's see. Can I? All right. This is what I shall do. Yes. See if I can bring it in a little more. So you want me to bring up the chart, actually, right?
Right.
You know what? What I'll do is
the details are a little too small for us to see, even though you're delineating those details.
No worries. I'll bring up the other chart, actually.
Right.
All right. And that way, give me just 2 seconds. I'll make sure I resize it properly. Boom, there we go.
Awesome.
All right. And let me actually center it back. Center landscape. There we go. Back in the center.
Beautiful.
All right. Yeah, we'll use that one. I had it up so we can see the essential digging of these tables for those that are technical and have been participating with us in our Magi Infinity Sphere astrology horary workshop. So there we go. Okay, so we got this bigger full one here, right? So with that being said, in continuing, third house for Virgo. All righty. So Virgo, this full moon is happening in your third house. You're really probably, you know what I really think, because we said, traveling is not probably the best. So probably when it comes to travel, the best travel for you, Virgo, would really be psychological, like an occult type travel. Like, you really almost in a remote viewing type fashion, sort of kind of. In other words, take a journey with the books that you've been interested in. Take a journey with these things. Really allow the different things that you've been thinking about, or even places that you may have thought that you want to travel to. Do your research first. See what value it has. All right, because that's the full moon is definitely taking place in your third house. You may also come across things pertaining to your early childhood development that may come to the forefront also, Virgo. And being able to make sure that you are solidifying things and concepts that you may have actually developed in your early childhood. And now you're actually seeing how they may benefit you now in some things that may be causing not necessarily a strain, but a bit of a challenge behind the scenes for you. However, it's an opportunity for growth, considering that, this full moon is happening sextile to your ascendant.
Mm-hmm. And this is Virgo, correct? That we're talking
That's
about?
Virgo.
In the third house.
3 houses from Virgo is Scorpio. Yes.
Awesome. So, well, as far as, again, referring back to the 17th lunar mansion, those electional properties have a really good synergy with travel for Virgo. So for Virgo, this would be a really good time for them to travel. Although it says the traveler will be anxious about something going wrong.
So that's why I said maybe something, if anxiety is negative excitement, so maybe find the divine balance in doing your research first.
Yeah, that would be really good.
You know what I mean? So that you can have a fully competent decision that you're moving on. Libra, this is happening in your second house. Full moon in your second house, Libra, goodness and the gracious. Libra definitely has probably received some gifts today, probably did some shopping. you know. Full moon in the second house, though, however, with that second house, Libra being Scorpio, it just makes me think that maybe, you have really been paying attention to things about taxes and contract law, probably a lot stronger than you think, even to the point where, you may have even been considering going to law school. No, I'm serious, because you got to think about it. Scorpio is the psychology sign.
Right.
For it to be the second house to Libra, it would be one who may actually get their immediate finances, may be able to get their values and or value things that pertain to regenerating and degenerating things in the mind. All righty. So this here could be someone who would love to make their finances off, the psychological health and or wealth to those that they may cast judgment on. So if you're a Libra ascendant and you're in a position to, administer some type of so-called court affair, 9 times out of 10, you're seeking to be able to get the most, to possess the most that you can, or possess the most value out of either someone's psychological fortitude, competent know-how, or someone's incompetence. So the reason why I'm looking at it that way, because opposite of the second house would be Libra's 8th house, and the sun being there in the 8th house would just really just say that how it will be expressed, it will be expressed in a way that it's going to affect someone else's finances. So Libra, be mindful to make sure you're really not just being a humanitarian, so to speak, in your evaluation endeavors. Do your best to make sure that this isn't affecting someone else's finances, provided that you may find that you're going to have to pay that back in the future. And probably not the way that you took it. All righty. Speaking of karma, for those commenting on karma in the comments, all righty, brother author, right? Yeah. So with that being said, that's the 12 ascendants, guys. We just went through that, right? Just got through it smooth and easy, right?
That's everything.
Hey, we just went through all 12 ascendants, and I just did that with the gorgeous Mother Sekhmet, Gaziel, right? Oh, right.
Oh, I didn't want to leave out the herbs that one could plant and
go right ahead. Share that. Let me bring this back. Let me stop the screen share and bring it back to you. Right, and there you go.
Just before we forget, because I think it's just a lot of
I mean, what I could do is also let me see if I can bring it up on the screen. What page are you on?
I am on page. Well, for the hard copy, it's 355.
355 in the hard copy. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to search the encyclopedia while you readeth it. Right? So let's make sure this isn't like watching paint dry. All right, it's moving fast there. All right.
So yeah, this is coming out of H.L. Cornell Encyclopedia of Medical Astrology.
Absolutely.
And I am looking in the herbs section here.
You said page 3. What? I'm almost there. I'm almost fully loaded.
355.
355. That equals a 4. All right. Hold on. Here I go. All right. So 355.
And I'm looking at the Mars group of herbs ruled by Mars.
All righty, because Mars rules Scorpio, right?
Correct.
All right, so this is herbs ruled. I'm on 3. Oh, hold on. Say 355.
Yes.
Give me 2 seconds.
Yes.
Almost there.
So I'm not going to read all of it because it's a long list. However, I know for just in my own experiences, that some of them would probably really do well right now. If you look at there, I'm going to point out just a couple of them that I would really suggest. So basil. Do you see basil there? Yes, you see basil there.
See, I'm going to do that for you like that. Bang.
Awesome. So basil, you can obviously get from your local grocery store with the root on it. So you don't even have to do a whole lot except for go and get the basil plant from the organic section or whatever from your local market and plant it. So that would be a good one. Let's see. And last year we did, I don't know if it was under the Scorpion moon, however, we did really well with our basil in the garden last year.
Yes.
So that would be a good one to do. Let's see. And there was another, maybe a couple of, I've seen some, a cayenne pepper is in there. That's a good one. That's really good to have in your cabinet for at all times. So cayenne pepper, those don't take long to even root. I think you can go straight to maybe Home Depot, get a couple seeds, throw that thing in there.
Yeah.
Or you can, again, buy the fresh cayenne and plant it.
Yep.
Stick it in the dirt.
Do it yourself.
Keep it moving.
Cut half of that pepper, put it in the dirt, and cover it with the dirt.
Yes.
You know,
so
the soil.
The soil, right? You'd be really good to do that one. That keeps away. It's a part of the cancer cure.
All right.
So a little bit of cayenne pepper in your, once it grows and you do the process of drying it and grounding it and all that stuff, you put it in your water every day, or you can just go and buy some if you don't want to take the time to grow it yourself right now. But that's another just something I knew about it.
Indeed.
And, what else stuck out to me? Let's see. Mustard greens.
Gotcha.
Mustard greens. Those don't take long at all.
Really? You say mustard greens? Am I missing it? I see mustard.
You see mustard? Or is
mustard.
It not mustard green, but mustard?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll take it mustard green. You can plant mustard green too.
It'd be interesting to see what, Well, go ahead. I'm listening. I do see garden crest, but go ahead.
You see garden crest?
Yeah, but I was thinking of something else just now. However, the mustard, yes.
Right, and what else stuck out to me?
Well, I'm definitely gonna cut this one.
What do you see? Pineapple, for sure.
I'm definitely gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna go downstairs and cut that.
Awesome. Yeah, sarsaparilla. A lot of what a lot of the you see the onions up there. Those are the, like you were saying, those underground.
Yeah, after
So,
this full moon, go and plant your onions.
Yeah, your onions. I think garlic is in there too, as far as the underground.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I think garlic's right there. Yeah. There you go.
So those are just a few that I automatically recognize. Obviously, if you are more privy to other things here listed, tobacco has always been one of our ancient, resources as far as growing. So I'm pretty sure
that's interesting. Yeah, how that's there and how the tobacco is actually used. I know how people purport in using it. However, the tobacco was used. I think I read one thing. It was like topically for something on the outside, but definitely wasn't meant for internal usage or even quote unquote so-called smoking it first. Kind of came to that, sort of. So, it's funny when you go back and start doing history on stuff and you look at certain things, you're like, okay, so the purpose was really this, and then it got turned into this. Okay. Right. So that's it for that.
So do your research. I would suggest, if just to have your hands on all these different things. Obviously, our counter kin, I'd say, the Albion and
our sons and daughters.
They are definitely taking a full advantage of knowing how to use these energies and
apothecary kind of flow.
In the apothecary, in their everyday lives, in their governmental affairs, in their homemaking affairs. And all these books are available to you by way of the Astrology 101 workshop.
2020, actually,
2020.
Yeah.
So
and that's actually, not to cut your wisdom to add to it, but that's what we do as an add-on. People when they come in for the workshop, they're expecting just videos. They didn't know, they don't know it's a whole astrology library, law library. Goodness gracious, when they get their hands on that. Right. So, which, by the way, let's show them where they can go for that, right?
Sure.
And you can continue, and then we can work towards closing out.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Let me do my last screen share here. And what I'll do, actually, I will go here, and we'll click on SekhmetHillstar.com there from home screen, right? I'm going to click on the time travel now button. I'm just waiting for this to load. All right. And there, guys, you can get all of your literature, both free and for an Elemosinary exchange.
And we will have all the links for everything
in the description. Ends. Once we finish this video, yes, we're going to put the links to everything. You see, that's why she makes sure things are written and done right and finalized. To see some of her work here, guys, 7healstar.com. Its design and how it looks is because of Mother Sekhmet, Gazia El. All right, and you guys know you can go and schedule, right, with Mother Sekhmet for her PinkIlluminates.com services for publicity, graphics, and website design. You can book Mother Sekhmet Gazia El right there at 7healstar.com, or you can reach out to her on social media at Pink Illuminates on Instagram, as well as Pink Illuminates on Facebook. And you guys can message her also. If you don't reach her through 7healstar.com or through pinkilluminates.com, but you can definitely check out Mother Sekhmet Gazia El. All righty, she is my other half. All righty, for we are one, and you guys can see how things are coming together this past cycle, these past 365 days, as they say. Yeah. And you guys can get your mirror sessions with me, your mirror astro literacy session. All righty, you guys can get that with me. It'll be about 2 to 3 hours. All righty, and you will get your everything that you need as far as being able to analyze yourself once we're complete that session. Who am I and what's my purpose reading? All right, he's being provided also there. Holler at my bros. All right, you can do your astrology review, your hourly astrology review, or do a review per every hour or time that or however much time you would need with Brother Corey Bay for the Astro Core reading. All righty. And then you can also do your Jaguar Solar astrological review also with Brother Terrell, Tamari Bay. All righty. And all three of us are some form of musician. I, Brother Corey, and Brother Terrell. And if you guys know Jaguar Soul, we all joke and say his spirit guide is Jimi Hendrix, because of just the way his style and guitar and how he goes about it and just really being adept in expressing his style and playing. However, you guys can see, we're doing your sound font development. So for virtual studio recordings, we'll probably change that title to sound font development for your different sound fonts and things of that nature for you different content creators out there that may not have the engineering know-how. So even though we have really great sound quality, but those that have already done business with us, we're pretty private with that. However, because 9 times out of 10, you see the stuff that we do with sound, it ends up in our presentations, either myself or Mother Sekhmet already. So we'll, put different things there. So we got some new things coming too. And we are still working off of a lot of things that we created a few years ago. Or myself, I created a few years ago, and Mother Sekhmet is assisting me. However, with that being said, you all, I think the screen share might have stopped, right?
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
We're looking for as far as your online appointments, if you click on the other button on that, you can book, transact for the actual course 101, Astrology 101 workshop. So he'll show you that.
Let's see.
And
see what we got going. But it wasn't trying to show the video. Okay, so click on classes and events, right?
Yeah, there we go.
All right. Go ahead, hon. You can tell them.
Right. So you can just click on the Astrology 101 2020 Google Drive archive, and you will be able to retrieve the full first part of the course.
Mm-hmm. And all the tools that you need also.
All the tools. So what you see us referring to whenever we are going into the library or picking up the books, there are going to be access to those PDFs by way of the workshop. So you'll have videos, you'll have explanation, you'll have the participation from myself and a bunch of other students who were in the classes as well, and having some great times, honestly. And just learning astrology from the beginning until where we're at now. I think you're going to go into 102 pretty soon. So
yeah, and just for right now, we like we said, the first 2 people would really get, because we know, so there's no controversy, because we know who we are. We're Moorish Americans.
Right.
Forefront of our mind, you guys get to know Prophet Noble Drew Ali, through the Prophet Noble Drew Ali University Astro-Civics Community Meetup videos. However, what we're also saying, though, when it comes to all of the library stuff and things of that nature that we have, it is within the Prophet Noble Drew Ali University Astro-Civics Community Meetup folder that's within the Astrology 101 workshop. So we did 2 different types of Noble Drew Ali universities. The first one we did is actually included.
It's included
in the Astrology 101 Workshop 2020, but that's supposed to be one of those surprises you see when you get that joint. Like, right. Oh my God.
So,
and then the one that you see that actually says Prophet Noble Drew Ali University Astro Civics Community Meetup, that's actually the second one.
Yes.
So we tried to give you guys, we went above and beyond on that one that says 35 notes, right? 135 notes right there, or 135 units in lieu of lawful money right there, guys. Completely telling you that one right there is definitely the one you want to start off with.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep it a whole buck with you. However, feel free to do what you want to do and checking out everything that we have here. Astrology 101 Workshop 2020, 3 cycles of diacal review. The Astrology 101 Workshop 2020, Synastry and We, which Mother Sekhmet loves that one.
Yay.
You really had fun with that one, and the Solar Arc one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, right? We did. And I'm just going to say, as far as my having participated in these, just, a testimonial review, if you will. Mm-hmm. You may not want to, like he said, go past the beginning ones. Go in order, do yourself a justice by learning what you need to learn from A to Z. Solar Arcs is much more fast-paced. The one that we're in right now, the Horary astrology, is something that you probably can join in on and catch up with, because we'll give you the tools, and Brother Hasan is very diligent in making sure that he's available to you outside of class. And if you have questions, you all have been in school before. Some of you have been in, adept in, different classes before, you know how to ask questions. So ask your questions if you don't really get it, or you need that additional explanation on what is happening. So yeah, come and join us. It's only 27 per cycle.
Yeah, we're giving you like 5-hour videos for 27.
It's all day on Sunday. It does break up your mundane activities. I know a lot of us are still going forward with exchanging our time 40 hours.
You in as you're talking. Continue.
Yeah, I know a lot of us are still, like I said, exchanging our time for our pecuniary wages to make a so-called living. However, on Sunday, join us for class. It's fun. It's engaging. It keeps you grounded in your national principles. It's community-based. It's what we're supposed to be doing. It's a lot of us not really. I see the Zoom calls, and I see people joining here and there across the land via Zoom and talking about so-called governmental convention and what needs to happen pertaining to Moorish community. However, this is a very specific community engagement. This is astrology. This is something that all of our predecessors and foremothers and forefathers who were in the seats of government have adept knowledge in. So for you to be going out and speaking on different prophesied events and history in our, Moorish history, rather, world history, and you don't have any knowledge pertaining to astrology and what basic glyphs mean when they're in certain houses. For me, last year, it was like learning Latin. I didn't know what any of this. I was like, what? I don't know anything about this. However, fast forward with a sincere, mind pertaining to studying. Mm-hmm. I learned it, and it was fun while doing so. And and I feel like it would be worth your while. So I'm not going to keep going. I love you all.
Yeah, we can. I was just waiting on you to wrap up, huh?
Yeah, I'm wrapping up.
In your zone. Guys, pinkilluminates.com. You got to go and check out that article. All right?
Thank you.
Thing. Oh, you get me a little munch on it.
So, I didn't need to be talking while I don't like that.
No, you was good.
My apologies.
You ain't doing nothing wrong. I just came and sit next to you. Sure.
Yeah, but you made me want some chocolate.
Oh, I wasn't tripping. You saw me. I'm just being like we normally be.
So I yield the floor. I love you all. Thank you for supporting us, and thank you for making me feel comfortable on this platform. This is my first time. So
yeah. That's really awesome, man. All righty. So guys, let me bring me back here. Add me to the spotlight. All righty, y'all. Thank you all so much, guys. Go and enjoy yourselves, right? And guys, just go and check out our websites, www.pinkilluminates.com and 7heelstar.com. Enjoy yourselves, guys, and we're going to continue to do what we do, being pure heart, being sincere intent, being love, being honor with Prophet Nudrali, the forefront pertaining to our mind, in embracing everyone universally, because Prophet Nudrali is a universal prophet. Just came to us Moors first because we needed them the most. All right. So you all enjoy yourselves. Share, like, subscribe, guys. All righty. When it comes to these presentations, because we have really been doing our studies and tightening up on how we do what we do as far as our astro-civic endeavors, all right? So with that being said, any questions, comments, and or suggestions in the chat? They say thank you and they say yes. Mother Sahar says thank you and says yay. All right, y'all. We are going to yield the floor and we're going to make sure that everything is in the description for you right after I take this live off as far as hitting the end button. All righty, y'all. We love you. Thank you oh so much. Namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. Peace and love.
Namaste. Peace and love.
You know what? Let's do the